Hello, everybody. Gonna do another reaction. This one is called "If You Are Broke, Do This."
Nobody told me this when I was flat broke and living paycheck to paycheck. If I don't like where I'm at financially, I'm the only one that's going to fix that. I have to do something different today that I
Facts.
was doing yesterday, or tomorrow is going to look just like today. That was me literally about, I don't know, 20 years ago when we moved into this house. We were paycheck to paycheck. We had student debt from my wife, we had credit card debt, we had two car payments that was pulling us down, and we made a decision to live like no one else so that we could one day live like no one
Getting
else.
less. Yeah.
And I heard
Yeah, he did the Dave Ramsey. Live like no one else, so one day you can live and give like no one else. I do like that quote. Like I said, I have a few reservations or disagreements with the credit card thing when it comes to Dave Ramsey, but I do agree with a lot of what he says. And I've utilized his advice, and it's benefited me. So I can tell from personal experience, you know, not bad advice, not bad advice, Mr. Ramsey. And yeah, he just quoted that fact. He's just now admitting he quoted it.
that from Dave Ramsey. Dave Ramsey just teaches you to pay off your debts. I started a home business in website development. I didn't know much about, actually, I didn't know anything about web design. Started that actually a little bit before we moved back down to Florida, about a year before. And so that would have been about 21 years ago. And I started building websites. My first website, I got paid $300 for it. That
Nice.
was extra money.
Hell
Then
yeah.
the next one, $600, $1,200, $3,000. And I just continued to work my butt off.
I will say this. I'm gonna tell you guys this about me. Um, I uh, I don't hate on other people when they have success, even if it's something I wish, even if it's a success I wish for myself. You know what I mean? To me, I feel if another man or woman, another person, and especially if it's your everyday person, your everyday, human being, especially a man that's older or younger or within my age range, right? If they're able to really do something very simple, and then they're able to make some pretty good money and it turns into something lucrative, something that is enough for them to leave the 9 to 5 or not need one and still live comfortable and take care of the fam and all that stuff. I am a huge fan of that. And I don't, you know what I mean? I don't hate on people who were born with money. Same reason I don't hate on people who were born poor. You have no you have no choice what you're born with. Just like you have no say, you have no choice in if you're going to be what gender you're going to be born with, or what race or culture you're born. You don't know what race you'll be when you'll be born. And so that's why I think racism is fucking stupid. Same thing with sexism and everything. Same thing with classism. Now, I do think if you were raised in a poor family, you should find ways to find a better life for yourself. And I know plenty of people who grow up in the mud, who grow up from a very poor family, and they're living very nicely because they just they took the education route, and then they decided to build something because they wanted a better life for them than what they were raised with. As far as people like trust fund kids, people who are born with money, you hear stories about how they get a drug habits. They run amok. They're always involved in. They're getting DUIs, or they're getting all kinds of crazy shit. You hear about this a lot, and that comes from a bad parenting. That means that they were raised with no consequences, and they were raised that, hey, it don't matter what I do, it doesn't matter how much I wreck my lives, how much I embarrass the family, how much I wreck other people's lives. We have money to get me out of any bit of trouble. And that's the mindset. Now, there are people I've met who were raised in money and they started their own businesses. Obviously, they had the capital to do it, but they did that. And some of these people who, regardless of how they came up, you know, through that type of class privilege, they utilized it to the best of their abilities. They were good people to me and other people, and they always meant well. So they took what they were born with, which they got that they were born with that silver spoon, and they always had that safety net. But they took well good advantage of it, and they decide to come up in the world and do good. So so I don't mock people. I don't think you're less than just because you were born with tons of money. You know what I mean? To me, it has. What will you do with that extra cushion that you came up in, that you came up with? What would you do with that? What good can you give? Um, or
So
sorry guys, I did it again. I do this stuff. I
So
got
I was spending all this money on music videos.
it's the fucking guys. My bad. This is the third time I've done these reviews, and I accidentally hit something in a. It's TikTok, I think, is or it's Reels. It happened to a YouTube short the other day. I tried to do a reaction, and I got so pissed I didn't even finish the video. Anyway, let me finish what I'm saying. We'll get back to this guy. Yeah. So, anyways, my point simply is this: is when I hear other people who have successes, I don't grind my teeth at them. I don't, Now, if you're like a piece of shit person who just does nothing but go around and hurt people and you just done nothing good but you always have a stack of money, um, that's the only time I might feel some way about it because but I don't know. Maybe you made a good decision somewhere in your life. It just wasn't how you treat people. Trust me, I've met some shitty ass people, but some of these shitty ass people always lived off a woman. I noticed. So kind of wonder where. So you kind of wonder stuff like that, or they never were like fully on their own. So maybe in some cases, maybe they just don't have the money that they might make you think they do. So you got to remember people flaunt and people fake. But I will say this guy seems like a good dude. And overall, like I think good, decent, the everyday man, everyday woman, what have you. I mean, if you're making it happen, then I applaud you.
Nobody told me this when I was flat broke to pay off your debt, credit card debt. We
Okay.
had two car payments that was pulling us down. And we made a decision to live like no one else so that we could one day live like no one
Yeah, the
else.
Dave Ramsey quote. All right,
And I heard that from Dave
we're back
Ramsey.
at
Dave Ramsey just teaches you to pay off your debts. I started a home business in website development. I didn't know much about, actually, I didn't know anything about web design. Started that actually a little bit before we moved back down to Florida, about a year before. And so that would have been about 21 years ago. And I started building websites. My first website, I got paid $300 for it. That was extra money. Then the next one, $600, $1,200, $3,000. And I just continued to work my butt off to bring in more income because we just didn't have a lot of income. I was working at a church. I was a student pastor for 23 years. And you can imagine, student pastors don't make squat. And so that wasn't paying the bills. My wife's a school teacher, so she doesn't make a whole lot. So neither one of us come from wealthy families, so it wasn't like we got inheritances. We just learned to live way below our means. And so
nice.
I
Yep,
drive a
that's the way to
2013
go.
Ford Explorer by choice. I could have a new vehicle if I want to. I could have a $600 a month, $700 a month payment. I don't want a payment. And a lot of people, they spend a lot of money on things like Starbucks and drinking or smoking or whatever. It could be a hobby, fishing. We're going to
Okay. I said this in a previous video when I talked about me starting to live more of a frugal life. And I never understood the Starbucks thing, the avocado toast. That seems to be the biggest criticism that I know a lot of millennial and Gen Zs have. And um, that's the shit they get. Uh, I never cared for Starbucks. What's funny is for Christmas, I ended up getting a Starbucks cup. So I put my record labels sticker on it so to cover up the Starbucks. I do like it because it's tall, even though I drink a lot of water throughout the day, so I'm constantly having to refill it. But and it came. Oh yeah, and it came with a gift card, and I gave that to my girlfriend's daughter because she loves Starbucks. That's cool. Just not my really. It's what is it? It's like a mocha that or something or the pumpkin spice and so there are a couple. I'm not saying I absolutely don't. I absolutely hate Starbucks or whatever. Um, I just don't see a need in going there and buying any. I make coffee at home. In fact, I have those little coffee pods that you put in your coffee maker, and they're Starbucks. I get them at the grocery store when I go to the grocery store, and they're little coffee pods, and they're from Starbucks. And so to me, I'm already getting that. Now that wasn't on purpose, because it's either I get that or I get the Dunkin' Donuts one. I like coffee with some the little flavor. And then I put in my favorite hazelnut is my favorite creamer. I put some whipped cream on top. I'd stir it with chopsticks and I put the whipped cream on top. I feel like I make coffee just as good as Starbucks, but maybe better. So that's not something I would say because I kind of know what direction he's going in. He's talking about what the average younger person spends their money on. Um, well, I eat at home during the week. On the weekend, if I'm out and about during the day on Friday, I'll tend to buy lunch like Chipotle or Kava or something like that. But more than likely, if I'm leaving the house Friday night, if I'm gonna go out, I'll just have dinner, and then I have my date night with my girl. Usually, we'll have a date night once a month, and then every quarter, like once every 2 or 3 months, depending, or just whenever I got a little extra money set back. Then we'll have a bougie day, which I take her out to something like a hibachi Japanese restaurant or something fancy that we normally can't afford. And so that's just a once is like once every 2 months, maybe once every 3 months. On one of her weekends off, I do that for her. So other than that, I mean, we go out. We'll go look at some local live music, or we'll go to one of our neighborhood bars and see our bartender friends, see some of the regulars, and we're Bud Light drinkers, Bud Light, Bush Light. If we're really filling up to it, maybe a Corona. We don't really take shots. We don't do liquor really. People will buy us shots and maybe that's about it. Other than that, we're cheap beer drinkers, so our tabs are pretty low. So that's all. That's all that. But a lot of times we've been at home, especially during the winter times. We'll stay in where it's nice and warm.
Spend money on something. I choose to spend my money on the thing that I'm most passionate about, and that's this theater room. But this
Theater room, yeah. Well, I got a yeah. If I had a bigger house, I would love to have a theater room. But my living room makes pretty good for a theater. I just don't have the surround sound, but I got the 55-inch TV, smart TV. I have a physical media collection. That's another little hobby of mine. I add to it here and there. I'm definitely looking to add to it. Just whenever I feel free to spend just a little bit. So yeah, I don't have any subscriptions. I think Netflix is about it. I got rid of HBO Max because I don't watch anything on there. I'm on Tubi most of the time. I'm on Tubi most of the time, and it's free. I just deal with the ads. The ads come in, I pause it, go get another beer or water or whatever I'm drinking. A lot of times I gotta go piss. So bathroom break, right?
is also my job too. You got to understand that. Like, this is what I do full time. I'm a full time content creator. I'm a full time business owner.
Interesting.
I still have my business doing website development. I have a YouTube channel that I started in 2018, went full time doing that in 2020.
Nice.
I have like 1,600 videos, long form videos that I've filmed myself I've edited myself. I don't have an editor. I still do that on my own. And I continue to do that. Okay. So at some point, we all just have to grow up and own the decision that, you know what, if I don't like where I'm at financially, I'm the only one that's going to fix that. I have to do something different today that I was doing yesterday, or tomorrow is going to look just like today.
Yeah, I fully believe that. And anytime I went through some financial hardships, when decided I was radically going to do things different, I saw a big change. So yeah, man, this dude's spitting facts.
You know, it's that definition of insanity. If I continue to do the
Hmm.
same thing the same way, I'm going to get the same results. And to expect anything else is insanity. Now, I realize a lot of people are struggling. Dude, the finances right now, I mean, everything's
Hmm.
expensive in life. But guess what? I've got three girls. Two girls I'm paying for college. One's getting married in December. Talk about expensive. All of my money's going to them. But because I don't have any debt other than this house, and we're paying this off early, but other than the house, we don't have any debt. So it's so much easier to live life if you don't have debt. So, man, I hope that's an encouragement to you. I tell you what, go to YouTube, search for Youthman, Youthman journey. There's a video on there that shows me where I started 20 years ago in this theater room. It was nothing like this. I had a 19-inch TV. It's crazy. But go check that out. I hope it's an inspiration to you. I know it's difficult when we look at people on social media and we're like, man, I wish, or it must be nice. I see that comment a lot. Must be nice to have.
Yeah, I like to avoid that. Like I said earlier, I don't like to shit on people who are doing well. You know what I mean? If for any reason I do it, it's because I know they have to be an absolutely shitty person. You know what I mean? But for your regular, normal, good people, they do good. You know, like I said, even if it's a type of success I want for myself, I always like to be happy for other people, even if I don't know you. I don't know this guy, but he seems like a good guy, and I like his mindset on life. I like and I can tell just by him talking, I can tell he's very at peace, you know, and that he's got his head on straight, and you know, so he's doing good. So, you know, good on this guy.
Have this or have that. There's a lot of things I don't have. I don't have a boat. I don't have a condo. I don't have an extra home. I don't have a new vehicle. I mean, my vehicle has 200,000 miles, and I choose that. And I'm okay with that because my car does not define me. My car isn't where I find my identity. My identity is in my life. My identity is in my relationship with God. My identity is in, my beliefs. It's not in the stuff that I own. So, man, I hope that's an encouragement to you. I know it's a struggle. I know it's a grind. I know it stinks living paycheck to paycheck, but there's absolutely no excuse why you can't be doing what I'm doing right now. Share your passion, whatever that is, online. You can start making money on TikTok. 2 months when I first started making TikTok videos, probably the first 2 months, I really went all in. I made $500 extra. How much would $500 extra help you? I guarantee it would. I don't have a big account. I got like 20,000 subscribers here.
That's a big account, bro. 20,000 subscribers is a lot. That's a lot of people. So, and yes, I understand that's probably not, you know, compared to someone that has like 100,000, um, or 500 or a million, stuff like that. But 20,000 is a lot of subscribers. So,
On YouTube, like 160. But this doesn't pay me a whole lot. But guess what? It's extra income. So I'm telling you, bro, there's no excuse. Make it happen. God bless. No.
all right. Well, we're done with that.
Let's talk money.
Okay. No, it's not. Maybe another video. But, anyways, guys. Well, okay. We're just not going to put me up front. All right. Well, anyways, guys. Yeah. Uh, I mean, it's the advice there is nothing new that I haven't heard from tons of other financial creators. So, but to me, I feel like if you hear like the same advice, the same ideas over and over and over from several people, there might be some of that information just might be factual. And if it works for a lot of people, it could possibly work for you. But I can tell you a lot of what he's talking about. Definitely. Anyway, guys, that's all I got for this. Later.